Welcome to the Mystis Adult and Family Services Cinemark Theater.
Do that later, boss. Oh, so we're live in Facebook. Sorry, in YouTube. Podcasting live. Nice.
Yes, we are. Yes, someone's raising their hand. Everything is different, and I don't even think you get to see the people. Is that what's happening? Wendy, are you raising your hand?
Yes, actually, I couldn't see myself, so I thought, and you couldn't
Yeah,
hear, so I had to raise my hand to do something to get my name to pop up there. What is happening? I'm missing some buttons.
I know this is a webinar, so I see some people here. I see. Yeah, some people are here. Some people are coming in. Miss Williams, Miss Robinson. Hello, good evening to you. I don't know why it's like that. Yes, we're also live streaming on YouTube. Okay, we'll just give people a few more minutes to arrive, and then we'll be getting started. Thank you for coming. This is our first webinar, Thanksgiving Learning Series. There were a few other meetings that happened over the last week or so, but um, we'll be getting started soon. Okay, well, it looks like someone said they're on their 10, so that won't count. You'll need to come back at 7, or you need to make alternative arrangements. Okay. You're here to watch. This is about an hour long. It's the story of Lisa Nichols, who is a woman who was homeless, who made it from rags to riches. So it's a heartwarming story. It should be very empowering. We're going to get started soon.
Now can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us on
Okay,
this
cool.
side?
Yes, ma'am.
I I
Oh,
could hear you
they
You,
guys.
can't
But
see
you
we
us.
can
could.
hear you. We can see you.
Oh,
If you
Oh,
turn
you
your
can
camera
see
off.
us. Oh, I don't know how her camera.
there we go. Hi, guys.
Wait, wave. Can
Welcome,
you see?
everybody. Welcome.
Oh, can you see me waving?
No, it looks like the
No,
cameras are off.
I
Hold
see.
on one
I don't
second.
know
Let
how
me.
to do the camera. It's not showing camera on here. It just says audio.
It's weird. I could see you guys and hear
I
you
can
guys,
see
but you
it.
guys couldn't hear me.
Yeah, we can see you too.
Oh, you can see me.
No, they can't see us, but we can see them.
Yeah, it must be
Yeah.
something with the way that the webinar is set up, but it's
Yeah.
okay. At least I
Is
know
it
y'all
okay?
here.
That's okay? As long as we can
Yes,
hear you?
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
All
Okay.
fine.
right, there you go.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. It's already 5:05. If some people decide to walk in, then they can walk in. Give us a second to get started. So tonight, basically what we're watching is a video on a woman named Lisa Nichols. So the woman was going through a lot of distressful situations. She was a single mother, growing up in LA with her son growing up in LA, and she grew up in LA, and then she kind of found a way to get out of her situation and make herself, useful, as she would say. And she just wants to share her story and make sure that um, you feel uplifted. So that's what we're doing tonight. Let me share my screen. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you all for being here once again. All right, so of course we start off with our commercial. I think most of you have seen it already, but I'll just go ahead and show it for you.
Mystis Adult and Family Services is a state and federally funded agency working hard to assist Washingtonians with housing stability issues. We often help clients find, retain, and keep housing for good through case management and connections to community resources. With over a decade of experience on the federal, state, county, and local government levels, we have the experience needed to get people moving in the right direction. We offer a supported housing and employment program. In our employment program, we help clients get, maintain, and increase employment stability and connect clients to vocational opportunities. Call us today for an intake Monday to Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 1-800-524-4827 or visit us online at www.mysticares.org.
All right, so I just wanted to remind everybody that we do have our food bank. So if you haven't signed up for that, you can talk with your case manager about that. Our food bank basically delivers non-perishable items to your door, as well as toiletries, so toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, things like that. So definitely reach out to your case manager. We are sending out orders. We got backed up a little bit, but we are sending those orders out. So if you already signed up, you're good to go. Okay, so we'll continue to get those out for you. If there are any other questions about services or programs, definitely stick around at the end so you can ask those questions. Some of your case managers and staff are actually in here right now, so you can ask them questions afterwards if they're still here, or you can ask me. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started with the video.
Dear friend, and one of the best motivating people you will ever hear, Miss Lisa Nichols.
I appreciate you. Wow. Oh my gosh. So happy to be, dare I say, home. So happy to be home with you guys. You look beautiful. I wish you could see yourself from here. But you've heard that all for the last few days, how beautiful you look from this degree. Thank you so much, Butch. Thank you, brother, for allowing me and inviting me to be here. I have to say that this is a sacred time. I haven't been to I haven't been with you guys for probably about 5 or 6 years. And as with many of us, so much has happened. And Roberta, where are you? You sparked me to just share a little bit more than I normally would. We are new friends, and asking me the details of my journey. I've spent so many years focused on my career. Anybody know what I'm talking about? One hand up, two hands up. I had a mission. I was very clear about the mission. I wasn't exactly clear about where I'd land, but I knew I was going up. And in order to do that, and I was a single mom for that entire journey, I felt like I only had the bandwidth for my son, parenting as a single mother, and trying to grow this empire so that I'm never on government's assistance again. Now, it's my story, but it's your story and whatever your details are. Can we relate to that? Whatever, find yourself in this story because you're my sister. And so I made decisions. And by my bio or by the sizzle reel, I feel like the majority of my decisions were really good, but then there's always the cost in the background. Yes, you guys know what I'm talking about. One of my mentors recently said to me, Lisa, know these two words, opportunity cost. And so I began 5 years ago. I haven't seen you guys like this in about 5 or 6 years, so I have to give you the update. I began about 5 years ago feeling like I had achieved. I realized if I keep chasing something that's not clear, I'll always be chasing something. Yes? And so I had to give words to what I wanted. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted time freedom. I wanted spiritual awareness. I wanted to be grounded. I wanted to invest in my time. And I felt like I had a bunch of boxes that I'd already checked, except that one. I want love. Ooh, I like a sister. I like a sister room. Let's do it again. I want love. You can't replace us. Y'all got to appreciate it. I literally just came back from Dubai 10 days ago, and 2 days ago I was in Saskatchewan, Canada. So I appreciate the I'm just saying, I'm at home. For a long time, I outran the desire, and I ignored the fact that I could hear the fear storms attached to love in my head. And I can replace my fears or replace my desire for love that I didn't have. I can replace it with massive achievement. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I get super lonely, I write another bestseller. No, really, I did. And there came a time 5 years ago, since the last time I saw you, that I didn't want to fill that gap anymore with my conversation or my busyness or another zero at the end of my annual revenue earned. I wanted to fill it with him. And yet I knew I had to do some work on her. And so I began to I created a retreat for boss black women. And I created a retreat for gladiators who serve others, a place to take your cape off and serve yourself, to cry the uncried tears and heal the desired heart so that you're ready for your breathtaking future. I created a retreat because I needed to attend it. Let's be very clear. Only transformed beings transform others. Yes? And so I hosted this retreat while participating in this retreat for 5 years. And I healed. And I gave love in my future a chance, and I stopped making my future pay for my past. I told Butch I was going to have to take a moment based on what today is to give honor to the journey. What I didn't realize was that as I was healing, I became clearer on some things, and I had met a man 12 years eight years prior to this time that I'm telling you. And I met him in Kingston, Jamaica. It was the last night I was on a business trip. It was his first night on a business trip. I was keynote speaking for the largest financial firm in Jamaica, and he is a newscaster, and he was covering the sports events that was going on. And as he walked in the lobby, I was talking to my girlfriend in true sister friend style. I'm talking, and he walked in. I was like, oh my God. And you know, at a certain level, you don't get to rubberneck anymore. But you do kind of, okay. And he walked past, and my girlfriend who was in front of me, she knew it instantly. She was like, yep, that's you. But I had long since lost the courage to even act like I was interested in someone. I could negotiate a deal, write a book, and sit on Good Morning America easier than I can flirt with somebody. I just had been out of that energy. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And so 5 minutes later, he appeared back next to me. And if he told the story, he stood at the elevator for 5 minutes talking himself into having the courage to actually have a real conversation with me. And I told him it was my last night there, and he said, would you like to chat? And I said, sure. And we talked for 11 and a half hours. And the next morning when I got ready to leave, he walked me to the front door of the hotel, and he said, I'd love to keep in contact with you. And the moment I stepped out the door, I said, sure, whatever. He was tall, he was handsome, he was athletic, he was Caribbean. And I thought, and I was 224 pounds. You guys can read between the lines. And so I didn't give myself permission to have him genuinely interested in me. Roberta, you're inspiring me to tell the story. You really inspired me to not discount it. And so for the next 8 years, he texted me once a month and said hi. But each time he texted me, I said, oh, I'm not going to deal with him. I know he has a wife or girlfriend, and he wants me to be his concubine. I know he's saying he only has 2 kids, but he has 7 that he is not claiming. And I ain't got time for that. You know how we can dismiss an opportunity before it starts because we don't want to get hurt. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yes? I know I'm in the right room, which is why I'm taking the time to tell you the story. Normally I don't do that, but I know I'm in the right room with my sisters, and I know our story. And so I discounted him, and every time I saw the text, I'm like, boy, bye. And every month, he would say, hi, how's Jelani, my son? How are you? Every month, once a month, for 8 years. I stopped noticing the text. I would go 2-3 months before I responded. Well, I'm busy. I got a life. You get a life. I just became dismissive and dismissive. And then 8 years later, I was in the shower praying to God, because I'd been at the retreats. I don't want to make excuses anymore. God, I want love, but I want them to be consistent. Just, God, send me a man that's consistent. Would you do that, God? God, I've been obedient. Can you just send them? I get out the shower, true to form, my phone pings. Hi. I went through and I read the text, and I didn't know over the 8 years that he had texted me once a month. It was only that night that I went through the text and I said, OMG, consistency. And I waited until 3 a.m. because at 3 a.m. it was 6 a.m. in Bahama time. And I was so nervous, y'all, I can do this. This is easy. Making that call. I dialed, fingers shaking. I said, good morning. He said, are you okay? I said, yeah, why do you ask? He said, because I haven't heard your voice in 8 years. Now, mind you, the crazy part is that he kept texting hi in spite of my dismissiveness. I just believe sometimes your blessings are waiting on you to see them. And I said, I just noticed that you've been texting me for 8 years, so I just had a question for you. Do you, promise you guys, it's like I was in middle school. Do you like me? True story. Y'all know what I was gonna say. He was like, with a strong certainty voice, he said, yes. And then I came back with my weak, are you single? He said, yes. And then the triple stutter came. There was no cool Lisa Nichols in the room. Do you want to date me? And with certainty and clarity, he said, yes. We began a whirlwind love affair that had me pack my bags and move to the Bahamas. And we got married. And we got married. Butch is like, what'd you tell him? But this is how you tell a story. You like build it up, build it up. We got married on today. 1 year ago. On today. But wait. On today. A few hours from now. On today. Today. So, I thought since I was telling you about him so much, I'd like to introduce you. Hold on, I've been waiting a long time to say this. To my husband, Marcellus.
Okay.
Go.
All right. Thank you so much. She did it to me again. It make me nervous and may want to cry and stuff, but I appreciate everybody. Thank you all, you beautiful people, for, first of all, sharing this beautiful lady with me. Wow, 8 years texting. Listen, it has been well worth the wait. I couldn't have imagined at that time that it would lead to this. And again, like I said, if I had to share my anniversary, my first anniversary with anybody, it is with people like you. So I do appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And once again, happy anniversary, my love. I do love you to pieces, and I appreciate you for saying I do.
I love you. Bye, baby. Booyaka, booyaka. So to all my sister friends, who are holding the space for love, my first marriage at 55. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Thank you, Roberta, for inspiring me to share the story. Thank you to my beautiful husband for allowing me to do what feeds my soul on today. And after this, we are going to hang out for a while, and then we whisk away to LA to surprise my dad, who couldn't make it to our wedding. And so he doesn't know that we're coming for our first anniversary to have dinner with him. And then we are whisking away to go on a cruise and just be with each other. So this is the perfect way to start today, to be with you. And I already heard a couple of sisters yell, what about the retreat? I still do them for gladiator women. So if you need a place to take your cape off, and need a place to sit with me for 5 days and do the necessary, beautiful work on yourself, then my team is here, and they'll be happy to love on you in whatever way you need. You know, when I look at who we are, and I look at our journey, and I look at this room, and I look at us at the Bellagio, I look at where we are, I look at the conversations, I look at the honorees, I look at what we've done, I look at any set of bios in this room, I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. Our grandparents are blown away. Our great-great-grandparents are blown away. They're blown away at this seat because they were willing to hold the space and service and cleaning and whatever they did so that we can be here. I'm blown away. Last night I was praying for the story to tell you, the energy, the conversation, and when we talk about our time, our way, our power, like that's huge, and it's gone for years. And we've demonstrated our power, and we've demonstrated our strength silently, quietly, nurturing other people's children 80 years ago, 100 years ago, building other families, building the world. We've done that, and then this becomes our time to stand up front. This is that time. I'm reminded of in 2007, when I was invited to the Oprah Winfrey Show, I was excited, and I thought, you know, of all the people I can take one guest, of all the people I could take, I just had to take my 85-year-old grandmother, because she's the one who picked cotton, so she should sit next to Oprah. So I took my grandmother. My grandmother is everything called feisty. Everything. She'll tell all y'all, look, I done traveled the world. Lisa not the only one traveling the world. And my grandmother, she taught me so much. So we're at the Omni Hotel. My grandmother would be on her cell phone, and she thought her cell phone wouldn't work well because it didn't have a cord. So I don't know if you've ever had an older person who has to talk loud, right? So she's in the limo. Yeah, Margaret. Yep, we in the limo. It's a long car. Yep, we going to the Omni Hotel where the guests to Oprah Winfrey stay. My grandmother always had to say where the guests to Oprah Winfrey stay, because she watched Oprah for 20 years, and at the end of the show it always says, sponsored by Omni Hotel, where the guests to Oprah Winfrey stayed. So she thought that was the whole name. So we get to the lobby, and she's on the phone again. Yes, Myrtle. Yep, we here. It's big. Yep, my grandbaby, the middle one. She never even called me by my name half the time. I'm like, are you serious, Grandma? I'm taking you to Oprah, and I'm still the middle one? Yeah, we here. It's nice. At the Omni Hotel, where the guests to Oprah Winfrey stay. Yeah, we're here. We're here. And we go up to the room. And the room was, of course, a beautiful room, a beautiful suite. And my grandmother's looking around. This is nice, baby. This is nice. I need to call one more person. Meredith, we landed. We here. It's 2 rooms at the Omni Hotel. Telling everybody. And so that night we go to a production meeting and about the show the next day. And I come back and my grandmother said, baby, while you were gone, this lady came to the door. And she asked me that I want this thing called a turn down. She said, I asked her, does that cost? She said, no. And I said, well, come on in and turn down. The next morning, The next morning, the phone rings and they said, Miss Nichols, it's Harpo Inc., your limo is outside. And I said, yes. I've been waiting years to be acknowledged by the highest media conglomerate in the world. And could I get to that point? And I was here, so I was excited. Grandma, come on, let's go. Grandma, get your jacket. I put my jacket on, I put my shoes on, I got my purse. And as I'm on my way out the door, my grandmother said, excuse me, go make your bed. I put my purse down, took my jacket off. When I started making my bed, I got done, I put my jacket back on, shoes back on, purse. My grandmother said, excuse me, go wipe out the sink basin. I don't even wipe out the sink basin at home before I go. I wiped out the sink basin. I go back out, and I knew something was happening. She said, hold on, before you pick your purse up and leave a lady a tip. I said, but Grandma just did her whole job. She said, leave her a tip. So I left about $5. She said, you make a lot of money, leave more money. Dug a little deeper, left her $20. I knew there was a lesson, so I said, Grandma, why am I making the bed and wiping out the sink basin and leaving the lady a tip before we leave? She said, because your great-great-grandmother cleaned hotels. She said, and you're not going to leave a room nasty and disrespectful for somebody's grandmother. She said, and you left that tip because when your great-great-grandmother got a tip, got money, we got to eat meat that day. She said, and I'm just saying this to somebody in this room, she said, you didn't get here by yourself. She said, I know you think you walking on this plush carpet at the Omni Hotel. Yes, she did say it again. She said, and I know you think you walking on those fashion red bottom, blue bottom shoes. She said, but you're not walking on either. You're walking on the shoulders of your ancestors who would never ever see this room. She said, and every time you walk out that door, you're going to do right by us. She said, because you're not by yourself. And this opportunity didn't cost you just what that ticket cost you. It cost the lineage of all of us. We all showed up so you can sit here. That day when I walked out of the room, Oprah was great. Everyone asked me, how was Oprah? I said, Oprah was great. But Oprah was the cherry on top of my cake. My grandmother was the cake. Yes, yes? Yes, yes? And so I just stopped by. I stopped by to stir your soul. I stopped by to invite you to no longer ask permission to be amazing and brilliant and a light. Because you know we have a way of leaning into a room just making sure that the room can handle us. Hello, somebody. I just came for the truth. We check the temperature of the room to see if the room can handle who we are, and then we adjust and calibrate our temperature and our light to accommodate the room. Yes, yes? So I just stopped by. I stopped by to celebrate you, but I also stopped by to make you mildly to moderately to significantly uncomfortable in any form of mediocrity. I stopped by to remind you that you're shining your entire light, all of your light, isn't just for you, but it's for her. And it's for him. And it's for them. I stopped by to ask you, are you willing? Are you willing to show up and dance like you've never danced before? Are you willing to show up and be seen like you've never been seen before? Are you willing? Thank you, baby. Are you willing? Oh, I don't know if the cameraman knew that I'm a runner. And you can turn the lights on. I want to make sure y'all don't lose me. I stopped by as your sister friend to remind you that you're perfect for such a time as this. As a matter of fact, you're necessary for such a time as this. And you can only be done by you. You are an unrepeatable miracle. One fingerprint is yours. And you got one job, do you. Find your edges and then go beyond them, because if you don't do you, you will never be done. And I didn't come to keep you comfortable, sis. And to my few courageous brothers in the room, you know I celebrate you. And I'm going to talk to her, if that's okay with you guys. I stopped by to ask you, are you willing to blow your own mind with the woman you're becoming? Are you willing to say, man, is that me? Are you willing to say, oh my God, my chapter 4 was so horrible, it was so ugly, but did you keep reading to my chapter 14? Because in chapter 14, she gets up. In chapter 14, she gets ready. In chapter 24, she begins to trust herself again. In chapter 36, she finds her own rhythm. Oh, but chapter 40, oh my God, she's the bomb.com. Are you willing? Are you willing to keep writing your story? Because most of us are sitting around making our chapter 24 pay for our chapter 4. You reliving the same chapter again and again, sis, and I just stopped by. I stopped by to stir your soul. I stopped by. I stopped by to wipe your tears. I stopped by to remind you, you are perfect, perfect for such a time as this. I want the camera to see your face, not mine. I want you to see your light. Stop by to say, don't be afraid of your brilliance. Don't be afraid of your own strength. Don't be afraid of how you might alarm some people with your brightness. Don't be afraid of who's not ready to play for you and with you. Don't be afraid of that, because you only want to play with people who want to play with you. And there's some things that you're growing into, and there's some things you've outgrown. I just stopped by. I just stopped by. I just stopped by to ask you, because somebody is waiting on you. They're not going to see me. They're going to see you. And when you stand in your light, when you stand in your light and you own your light and you stop being afraid of your own light, all of a sudden your light begins to illuminate someone else's. Someone else that's sitting in the darkness because they just went through a shadow moment. And if you stand close enough to her, that you get close enough to her and you own your light, when you get close enough to her, all of a sudden your light you can lend to her. You can lend it to her. And your job is to lend your light, because your light is not for you to hold. Your light is for you to keep giving it. And here's what I know. Here's what I know. That you want to get to the end of your life, that time when you can only sit down and reflect. And you want to see the video of your life, and what you want to see is who you were. You don't want to see the video of who you could have been. Ooh, I ain't going to make it easy to sit in the room. Somebody paid for that seat, so we're going to make it worthwhile. Yes, yes? And so I invite you to no longer dim your light. This is our time to do it our way, with our power. That you no longer ask permission. Can I be great? Can you handle my light? Is it okay for me to show up amazing? I just walked this way so y'all can see the back of the jacket on the camera. Okay. Only in this room I can do that. Only in this. I would never do it anywhere else. So with my sisters, we just got a pass. And I just want to create the space where you have a sense of urgency. I want to activate your urgency. All that I got to wait until they can see me. I got to wait until the kids are out the house. I got to wait until I lose weight. If I waited till I lost the weight to show up, y'all wouldn't know Lisa Nichols. She would be the secret. I got to wait. Why wait? What better time than now? What better sister or brother than you? The world is screaming for you. And only you can do you. And don't set your rhythm on somebody else's calibration, because then you rob us of yours. And you don't have to do it all right, because we're not looking at the way you fly all the time. We're looking at the way you get up all the time. You don't have to trust that you'll always fly, sis. Trust that if you ever fall, you'll always get up. Because she showed us that. She showed us that. She showed us what we're made of. And even behind the scenes, when you're doing everything for other people, make sure you fill your own cup. Make sure you serve from your overflow. Make sure you don't give what you need. Make sure you don't serve from the cup, you serve from the saucer. I appreciate you. And so I just stopped by. I stopped by to ask you, are you willing? Because the world is ready for you. The world asks us all the time. They ask us to show up. We just don't trust that they can handle us when we show up. Trust that they can handle you. Trust that it's your time. And so I want you to see that there's an opportunity for us. I want to take you through a little exercise right now, because while I have words and I hope my words inspire you, I believe that the gift that I can give you is for you to hear your own words as well. I think that while what I say has value and is important, what you hear yourself say just resonates even more so. So I asked Butch, can I take them through an exercise as well? Because I'm a transformational coach. Like, if you ever spend time with me, and some of you have and some of you will, that I'm going to look for your breakthrough. That's the gift that I can give you, is your breakthrough. And so I want you to, just for a moment, I want you to grab a partner, just turn to the person next to you, and just turn to the person next to you. And for the men, this can be for you too. Take a deep breath. Now, men, only in a room, men, we want you to participate if you want to participate, and if you want to say, I'm going to hold the space for the ladies, then you can hold the space for the ladies. Totally fine. Yes, but this is a good time to get to know my husband. He's so happy you did that. So, he's so happy. So I want you just to take a deep breath. I heard the word the other night at the award ceremony. I heard the word transformation 4 times. That made my heart happy. That transformation and the conversation of transformation is in a room full of corporate leaders. Because for too long, it was divided. So in the spirit of our sister friend, I want you to ask your partner that you're now having, if you're standing up, please grab a partner while you're standing. I want you to ask her, so who are you becoming? You choose who goes first. Keep asking the same question. Can we have just a little bit of music, not that music that I wanted, but a little bit of background music? Who are you becoming?
Every day like the first day, still get butterflies, oh yeah. Middle of the night, we all the way, baby, baby. Ain't no looking around in first place, so I love him even more in his worst day. on falling in love. Oh yeah. Keeps on falling in love. I keeps on falling in love. Oh baby. Keeps on falling.
1 more minute. 1 more minute. Keep going. Keep birthing her. Keep birthing her. Begin to wrap up. And stop. Stop. I know you like, get a room of 1,800 black women talking, Lisa. Good luck. Wrap up. Hands up. Put your hand in the air. Put your hand in the air. Put your hand in the air. So when I do my retreats, I like to just start chipping away at the top, and we just slowly go from a spoon to a teaspoon to a tablespoon to a serving spoon to a shovel. But light. So I'm just going to teaspoon you today. And if you want shovel, you want more, then join me in Mexico. That's where it is. The next question. Or actually, it's a sentence stem. So I want you to go back and forth completing this sentence. When I begin to trust myself more, I will. When I begin to trust myself more, I will. So let me give you my example. When I begin to trust myself more, I'll actually call Marcellus back. And that was a big thing. When he first started calling me, I wouldn't call him back because I got scared again. When I begin to trust myself more, I won't dim my light when I'm in a room and I know my light shines brightly. When I begin to trust myself more, I'll trust myself to stay inside of my health journey and not question myself. When I trust myself more, I'll stop questioning Lisa. What does the other side of trusting yourself more look like? A lot of times we're so in the process, we're not looking at the other side of when we get over that hurdle. You're never going to buy into the process. That's not exciting. You're always going to buy into the outcome. So what's on the other side of you trusting yourself more? Go back and forth. Ready? Begin. Just 2 minutes. On the other side of trusting myself more. On the other side of trusting myself more. Thank you.
You don't know, babe, when you hold me and kiss me slowly, it's the sweetest thing. And it don't change. If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, oh, you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part.
1 more minute. 1 more minute. Keep going.
Best part.
It's the sunrise and those brown eyes, yes. You're the one that I desire. When we wake up and then we make love, it makes me feel so nice. You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the Tylenol I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine on
Begin
my
to wrap up. Begin to wrap up. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Thank you. All right, do I have your permission to take you a little deeper? Just say yes, I'm gonna do it anyway. You guys know me. I've been with y'all for a while, right? I'll come and we'll do a lot of work. So every choice has a result, and every non-choice has a result as well. So I'm gonna ask you a harder question, but a necessary question that a sister friend would ask. You know, that sister friend that loves you. You like, only a couple of people can get in my face like that, right? I'm gonna take the liberty because you know that I love you. What's the cost if you don't show up? Sometimes you gotta be so aware of the cost that it keeps you moving. What's the cost if you don't show up for you? What's the cost? And I know that can take some of your breath away, but we're brilliant women in this room. We take information and we use it to fuel our decisions. Let's use this information as well. Turn to your neighbor. And I want A, choose who's A, just ask what's the cost 3 times. And then B, you turn around and ask it 3 times. And if you're in a trio, y'all work it out, y'all brilliant. Ready and begin. What's the cost of not showing up? Turn to her. Are you listening to? Okay. Begin to wrap up. Dr. Cherie. Wrap up that last statement. And stop. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Now, what I love about the sister friend is that there are times when your sister friend can see for you what you can't quite see for yourself. Yes? And I know that there's some emotion floating in the room, but I told you when I came on stage, I came, stopped by to stir your soul. I stopped by to make it mildly, to moderately, to significantly uncomfortable to sit in any form of mediocrity. I keep my promises because I love you. There are times in my life when I couldn't see this Lisa. There was no way I could see this Lisa. I couldn't see this Lisa when I got the phone call. Lisa, I'm in LA County Jail. Wait a minute. We just had a child together. I couldn't see this Lisa when I realized that my son's father was going to be in prison for a long time for white-collar crimes that I didn't even know that he was capable of committing. He went to prison when my son was 8 months. And he's still in prison and my son's 28. I couldn't see this Lisa when I began to keep score about my history. I couldn't see this Lisa when I was more attached to the fact that I was born and raised between the Harlem Crip 30s and the Rolling 60s. And I had 3 fights a week to get home from school. I couldn't see this Lisa. I couldn't see this Lisa when I struggled all through school, all 12 years through school. I know there are a lot of AP students in the room, the AP students. I didn't know what AP meant all 12 years. I said, I said, what are these app kids? Like, what does that mean? It had nothing to do with me because I struggled to get C's. And when I would get a C, my teacher and my father would celebrate me because they knew how hard I'd worked. I wasn't a slacker kid. I just had a hard time learning. It wasn't until I was 25 years old that I was told and found out that I'm functionally dyslexic. So I didn't see this Lisa. I didn't see this Lisa in my 20s when I got fired from 5 different jobs. I used to think that was the norm until people started looking at me crazy when I told them. I was like, that's not your experience. I didn't see this Lisa. I was a late bloomer. I finally knew what I wanted to do when I grew up when I was 28. I finally had the courage to take the leap when I was 32. I finally figured out how to make money at it when I was 40. So I tell people I'm not a fast learner, but I'm a thorough learner. Put me on your team. Put me on your team all day, every day. And so I didn't see this, Lisa. It was because of sister friends like you seeing for me what I couldn't see for me. And I remember asking people when they would say, oh, I see you. Oh, my gosh, you're going to be on stages. You're going to travel the world. You're going to have an amazing, successful business. I would say, can I borrow your lenses? Because you see more for me than I'm seeing for myself. And I got to this, Lisa, by borrowing lenses at times through other people and what they saw for me. So, thank you. So I want to round out this experience with that same set of sister friends, I want you to tell her, spend only about 30 seconds telling her, here's what I see for you. And I want you to fill her up. And I want you to see for her what she may not be seeing for herself right now. And sister friend, while she's seeing for you, if it gets a little hard to receive, I want you to hear yourself saying the words, 3 words. I receive that. Tell your cells so that you can store it in your cells so when you're all ready, it's there. Come on, y'all. Sometimes you got to file it away in your back pocket, and when you're ready for it, pull it back out. But you got to hold on to it. So I want you to tell her, here's what I see for you. Pour into her. Blow her mind with the woman you see her becoming. And if it gets nervous and hard to let in, just say to yourself, I receive that. You're talking to your cells. And if you're in a 3 by, I'm going to add a little more time so y'all can do it. Just pour, 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 pour. Ready and begin. Delicia. Switch, go back in the other direction. Go back in the other direction, switch. About right there. Begin to wrap up. Hands up. Begin to wrap up. Hands up. Right there. Begin to wrap up. Hands up. I know you want to pour and pour and pour. Have lunch with her. All right. I know. Trying to stop all these women. All right. So I just want you to yell out a little bit of how. So we just took a journey. We just took a journey. We just got a teaspoon, y'all. And we started scooping on how you're feeling. Shh. I know you're ready to go. Y'all like more, more, more. And this is the work. This work, you have no idea the woman you're becoming on the other side of this. So for some of you, you're like, absolutely, I want to do more. So yeah, I'm going to hang around. My team is going to be around. Will you guys stand up and raise your hands? This is my team. They came. They came. We just want to be of service to you. So for some of you, you know you need to do this work so you can get past your limiting beliefs. You know you need to do this work so you can give yourself permission to show up and shine. You know that. That's great. And you can only take yourself as far as you can take yourself. And so I invite you, hold my hand if it feels good. If it feels right. If it doesn't, this has been amazing. But if it does, you should know you have somewhere to go. Where gladiators go to take their capes off. Gladiators only. Yes, yes. And so, take a deep breath and feel how you feel. We take a little journey. Now I want you to just yell out the adjective that describes how you're feeling, and any feeling is okay. Ready, set, go. And hold on to that. Now, I'm going to play a song. I want my AV team to tee this song up. Not yet, though. I want to play a song that I want these words to have an even deeper meaning in this moment. I want these words to sit with you as you hear the I want you to own the I. Feel it. Let it touch you at a cellular level. And then as you hear the word we, I want we to touch you at an expanded level. I want you just to hear these words and let them sit with you. Give yourself permission to feel. Give yourself permission to show up. Give yourself permission to no longer need permission. Let these words just sit with that. Let it kind of seal our experience together. Can you play this song and listen to my words in between their words? And
we're broken down and tired of living life.
Can you turn it up? We've been on a merry-go-round.
You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you.
I see it in you. We can walk it all out.
Ooh.
We get to move mountains. That's what we do. We move mountains.
We gonna walk it out.
And we do it at our pace. Turn it up a little higher for me. Shake the balls. We always rise up. We always. We always rise up. Can you turn my mic up? Turn my mic up, please. And we always do it 1,000 times. 1,000 times. We get afraid that we're going to fall. Why? You always going to rise up. And you'll do it 1,000 times again. For who? For you. For you. And you. She did it for us. She did it for you. They all did it for you, and you'll do it for them. That's what we do. Our silence sometimes gets to us. It feels like it gets hard to breathe at times. Turn the music back up, please. I promise we'll take the world to its knees by storm. For you and you and you. Because you're worth it. We move mountains. We have have always moved mountains. We'll go around it, we'll go over it, under it, or through it. And we'll rise up. That sound back up again. Turn that sound back up. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. And we'll do it 1,000 times. So trust your fly, sister. Trust your fly. 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 You want to see your colors. Trust your fly. Not because you always know your wings won't get broken, because you know how to mend your wings. Because we got each other. We're going to hold on to each other.
We will rise. We will rise. We will rise.
Take her hand. Take her hand. Take her hand. Take her hand.
In spite of the
Play that music back a little more. Take me back a little more on that sound. Take it back a little bit for me. Take it back a little bit. Take it back a little bit. Play a little more. We're going to hold each other. We don't just hold each other when it gets good. And we don't just hold each other when it's bad. We have a history of holding each other. We have a history of solving the world's problems in the kitchen. Hold her. Hold her. And to our kings, to the kings in the room, thank you for being the kings that you are. Thank you for moving the mountains that you move for us. Thank you for fighting the battles that we haven't had to fight, my kings in the room. And we will always be your queens. And we will always rise together. Put those hands up slowly, rising, slowly, slowly, slowly. And we'll do this 1,000 times. We're not built for the sprint. We're built for the marathon. We marathoners. Look around the room. Just take a picture of that room. Now walk around and say, for you. For you. That's what she said. For you. I'll do it for you. I'll rise up for you. I'll do it 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 for you.
All right. So that was the presentation of Lisa Nichols. And I'm really hoping that I can open up the dialogue for folks to talk and at least say, something about it. You liked it, you hated it, what you felt about it. But that's exactly how we feel here at Mystis. I mean, we're just trying to do everything that we can as staff and for our clients, just uplifting you and making sure that you feel like you can fly. That's really the whole point of this. It's not about color. It's not about race. It's not about gender. It's about the fact that every person is unique and beautiful in their own way. And we recognize that in you. And we want you to get every opportunity that you can to feel that, not just from us, but in your own life. Because we can't be there 24/7, 7 days a week to tell you. This investment that we make in you as your case manager or as a program that's assisting you is based on the fact that we know you have value. There's only one you. You're so unique. You're so beautiful. Everything about you is incredible. So I want to open up the floor to see if there's anybody that wants to express themselves or talk. You can just mute yourself. Yes, go ahead.
So this is Monica, and I really enjoyed that. And I also looked her up, the Lisa Nichols lady, up on YouTube. I'm gonna watch her again, and some more of her little speeches after I get off the phone with you guys. But that was really good for me. I'm glad I tuned in today, and I wrote some stuff down, and I need to have a little talk with myself. So I'm glad I tapped into this today. That was really good for me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll
Oh,
continue to do
well,
stuff
can you hear
like
me?
this. Go ahead.
Okay, so that's somebody that liked it. It was okay, but I'm making her pockets fat. It's more to me, I'd rather relate to the other ladies, gentlemen, or whoever's listening to. I wasn't impressed by that. I already know that about me. God let me know that. And I just don't see me. I mean, it was free. I was cool with that, but I wouldn't pay for it. I
I
would pay for it. My heroes are you and the people that helped me. Those are my heroes. I didn't need her to tell me that. You guys told me that when you helped me. It was uplifting. Sisters should empower each other anyway, because I will. I mean, my granddad was a slave. My granddad, not my great great granddad. My mom would have been 100 and some years old because she had me in her 40s. So I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. You guys are more a hero to me than what she was saying. I already knew what she was saying. I'm now gonna make your pockets fat for you to tell me how good I am. You just told me and you introduced me to something that was really nice. It was cool, but the real heroes are the ones like you that are fighting to teach us whatever she said. That's all I'm saying. I
Well, thank
mean,
you. I appreciate that, Miss Sonia. I really, really do. And back at you.
yeah. So it was okay, but I won't be looking her up. I remember her name was Lisa Nichols.
Yeah.
I'll look you up again, see, and I'll look up the counselors I had or Miss Bradley, people that were right there fighting for me. Those are my heroes. Because it's hard for me to ask anybody for anything. So, I don't have no money, so I can't pay for one of her shows. So I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. Go ahead,
No
I'm done.
problem. No problem. Anybody else come off and staff? Any other clients want to come off and mute?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, is that Paula?
Yes. So for some reason, I got put as a moderator. I got signed in as a moderator. Can y'all tell?
No.
No. Okay. Maybe I don't know. When I signed in, it said you've been signed in as a moderator to speak, and I was like, whoa. Okay. I'm just making sure that y'all got me here.
Yep, we got you.
Okay. Thanks so much.
All right.
thought
Any
that
other?
was amazing,
Go ahead. Okay.
very inspiring. I related to so much of it, and I'm sorry I didn't have female um, mentors sooner in my life. And I always appreciate what you bring to the table, Gio, and share with us because um,
Absolutely.
I'm just floored by it, and absolutely for you.
No worries. Absolutely. That Miss Joanne?
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut somebody off. I can wait. I don't mind.
Go ahead.
So I think I liked when she had said her grandmother made her clean her sink and make her bed. And because I'm real adamant about my children making their beds and stuff, because, my grandparents were immigrants and they came into this. And, my mom always said, like, you're Mexican, so it's I can, and you're American, so it's I can. So don't ever let me hear you can't do nothing. And so, even though I don't have a good relationship with my mother, growing up with my grandmother saying that as well, it was always like, everything that they done, I want to always remember, even when we're doing really good. And I try to get my kids to understand that, because our kids today just are so spoiled. They have everything kind of like, they don't really have a hard struggle like we had as kids. And I'm 78 is the year I was born. So I grew up in some times where we, pretty much watched ourselves and did our own self. So I always tell my kids, like, kids were moving out and moving in their own places by the time they were like 17, 18. It was like so common. And then today it's like not, and it was normal because our grandparents did it. My mom was married at 15. So it's just like a under understanding like, wow, we've came this far and we've been through everything. So I really liked when that really hit home, because I remember, me saying that to my kids, like about making their beds. When you leave in the morning, I want to see your beds made, and I do it sometimes. I forget to make my bed because I'm in a hurry. But when you come home and you remember all that hard work, do you remember you still appreciated yourself to make your bed, and understand that you needed that to come home to. And I think it's just a genuine thing that we remember where we came from. And, we recently had Dia Muertos, which is Halloween for most people, but it's a time when we really appreciate our ancestors that came in and fought really hard, or we are where we're standing today because of them. So that was something that was very, very moving for me, in that the part where she really took the time to remember where we came from.
Absolutely.
So.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me and how that resonated with you. I appreciate that so, so much. And I'm glad that, it served as a reminder for you. Sometimes we need that. Jasmine?
Yes. Hi. I think the miracle in it was the fact that her husband waited 8 years. I mean, my Lord, 8 years. I mean, that's the miracle. 8 years saying hi every month. I mean, he was consistent. I've never in my life seen a type of consistency like that. I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays you ain't
Yeah.
gonna see that. That was
Yeah.
beautiful. 8 years.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
everything that she said was also very inspirational. And the fact that she's making this her life work to go out and inspire others, not just keeping it to herself, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, the part that I got out of it the first time that I watched it when she talked about the husband was how a lot of women, and I may ruffle some feathers because I'm not a woman, but I'm gonna just be honest, and from what I seen from my mother and from my grandmother and from my aunts and from the women in my family is that, you know, it, it's really hard sometimes to find the one. And sometimes you just give up.
Yes.
You say, you know what? I'm not about to do this no more. I don't care. I'm independent. I can handle my own business. And we not, a lot of ways, even as a man, I'm not necessarily made, or I don't feel, that's my own personal opinion, that I'm made to be alone for the rest of my life. And women are just so powerful and so beautiful and so strong and so resilient and so everything to a man and to the world and to themselves. They stand alone by themselves. There's nothing we could do without women in this world. So for me, for a woman to feel like when a man is able to say hello to you or speak to you, and that's, you know, not recognizable because of the drama that we brought to the table, or how some men have done certain things, or how what the trauma that women are facing is terrible. So, the fact that she finally was able to tell herself, I'm giving myself permission to be loved. I've been loving everybody. I've been taking care of
Yes.
everybody. Women take care of everybody. They do everything. They bear babies. They do
Yes.
all of those things. They're so important to this world that somebody needs to make sure that they're taken care of too. So I thought
Yes.
that was a very, very powerful part of it as well.
Yes.
Any other comments? All right. So the Thanksgiving series is 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. It's not always going to be a story. We're doing practical things. One of the trainings is going to be on Section 8. It's going to be how to use your voucher to get the house. There was a budgeting video the other night. We're going to do the Mary J. Blige story in the next couple of days. The David Goggins story, a Marine SEAL who basically, became a lot more than just being someone who didn't have anything, right? You have to persevere through so much to become who you are today, right? So it's just stories to uplift you and kind of remind you. You already know, like Miss Sonia said, God has already let her know. Of course, God has already let you know. We're just reminding you. And if you don't need the reminder, then you don't. But I need you to know. I need you to know how powerful you are. And that includes everybody in this room. Okay. All right. So the next session is at 7 p.m. It's going to be the same thing. So if you've already showed up, you've already done your part for today. So just thank you so much for coming. And I really appreciate it. Make sure you tell your friends, your family, anybody that you want to see these inspirational videos. They are more than welcome to come. Just share the link. Have a great and wonderful evening, y'all.